The Fandom Bricks Podcast.
It is that time of the week again. It is time for the Fandom Bricks Podcast. Now, as you can probably tell, we missed an episode last week, and unfortunately, it can't be helped. But to make up for it, our guest who missed last week's episode is here with us, and she is making her return, and it is the all-time Yashin. Woo!
Thank you for having me back.
I mean, I just want to clarify now, you are the highest viewed guest we've ever had on the podcast.
Are you serious?
No, yeah. Your podcast episode has something like 48 views on YouTube and loads of streams on Spotify and our other platforms. Pod Bricks and Ginger Lady are second with 43 on YouTube alone.
Wow.
So
God, I'm honoured.
Yeah, so it was a no-brainer for me to kind of have you back. You know what I mean, mate? You know what I mean?
Just for the views, huh?
Just. Hey, I'm gonna ride that clout train and the clout chasing until the very end of the station. But you know, welcome back.
You.
It's good. I mean, it was either you or just 15 bricks. So you know what I mean?
To be fair, I would have chose Seamus.
Yeah, well, yeah. To be fair, you know, he's a regular on this guest. I might as well just have him a permanent slot. How are you, mate? Anyway, you okay?
Yes, I am very well. A busy few weeks, but all good in the end. So how's your week then?
All right, yeah. I mean, I've got a week off work, so I'm actually very, very, very excited to just kind of deflate and de-stress, catch up on some Lego, because I have got such a backlog that I'm slowly kind of working my way through it all.
I'm so jealous of the amount of sets that you have in your backlog. It's unreal.
Yeah, to be fair, it's one of them things. So, to kick things off, we'll go with our usual podcast segment, which is Lego Life Stories. Now, for those of you who are joining us, we basically talk about our week in Lego, what we've built, what we've bought, what we've seen, how our week kind of is built around Lego, because that's kind of what we do here. We are Lego TikTokers, content creators, influencers, I would say, in a way. So, mate, how has your Lego week been overall? Quiet, steady?
I'm going to claim what I've done in the past 2 weeks, because I actually haven't had a Lego week this week, really. I've been in and out the vet. It's just been a nightmare. So the week before last week, because I'm obviously poor, I'm going to claim this. I managed to pick up what did I actually buy? So I bought 5 sets in total, 4 of which are very much retired. They're from 99 and early 2000. So I got one of the original Imperial shuttle sets, one of the MTTs, a B-Wing, I think, and what else did I get? Still Film for Traitor.
Nice.
Yeah, and I got a new set and I can't remember what it was. I'll come back to you with that one. I can't remember what I bought, but I bought it for £90, which is £60 less than what the retail was. So...
Oh, there you go then. You can't argue with that one. And the fact that you picked up an MTT is very jealous, because I have my eye on 2 retired sets from 2014. One of them is the 2014 MTT.
It's a beautiful set. I have got a really special place in my heart for the MTTs because they just look amazing.
Yeah. The 2007 one is the best one they've ever released. I'm just calling it now. Some people don't like it, but I love it because the sheer amount of minifigures you get with it, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, to be fair, I think you're a winner with all of them. But yeah, the 2007 one is pretty decent. I mean, I don't think I have a hierarchy of which is my favourite, but I couldn't turn down the original one. So
yeah, do you know what? Fair.
How was your week anyway? How was your Lego week? What you got?
It's been quite steady, really. Obviously, we missed an episode, so I'm kind of in a similar sort of position as you. But basically, myself and Mrs. Galaxy, we went to Manchester City Centre a couple of weeks ago, and I managed to pick up Dom's Charger and the elusive Nissan GTR.
Oh,
everyone is clamoring for. Everybody's after the GTR.
That.
Yeah, it was in the Manchester Lego store, so I picked that up. I could have either gotten that or the T-Rex Breakout.
I mean, that's probably way more worth it, especially while you can't get hold of it at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I kind of thought that was the logic I had, and obviously with the comparison of that, what am I going to get more joy from? Dom's Charger and the Nissan GTR or a massive T-Rex? Yeah, definitely the Fast and Furious stuff. And I mean, obviously, the trailer for the new Fast and Furious is out as well, so kind of a no-brainer.
Exactly.
To be fair. I've also started to dismantle or part dismantle my Lego Vespa.
Oh, okay. How come?
Because, just a bit of context for all you who are watching this and listening to this, when I bought the Lego Vespa, which was last year, I was in the process of building it when we had that really hot summer and it was all really muggy and clammy. And basically, I was kind of half building it and I was FaceTiming Mrs. Galaxy at the time. And as I was FaceTiming, it just because of the heat and everything, it just disintegrated and fell apart. So I just left it in the box and haven't touched it since. My plan is to kind of dismantle it and rebuild it again because obviously the Vespa is one of those sets that is going to be retiring, or maybe at the time of recording has retired. You don't know. It ebbs and flows. So I kind of feel like that is a good one to sort of build on. But aside from that, no, it's been relatively quiet in the Lego front because I've got my eyes on some retired sets, but I've not actually pulled the trigger on anything. I'm kind of weighing up my options just a little bit. I have bought some brickheads for a birthday present, but I will be doing a mention of that on our next episode and on TikTok as well. So yeah, pretty quiet to be honest with you, mate.
Oh, I love it. Well, to be fair, I've actually just thought I've got my eye on a Pirates of the Caribbean set.
Okay.
Which I have made an inquiry, and hopefully I will get that next week. So, because obviously, hopefully this will air the same week. Hopefully I'll get it, so I won't be spoiling anything for anybody. But yeah, I may have my eyes set on a Silent Mary.
Oh, very nice. And whilst we are quickly on this topic, before we go on to our first topic, it has been brought to my attention that you also hosted your first auction as well.
I did, yeah. I hosted my first Vox stream, which was actually very exciting. I mean, I am a bit of a technophobe, kind of novice kind of person, so it did take me a little while to get into it, but as we were going, it was actually really good fun. To be fair, I think I'm going to do another one because I've got so much Lego that, you know, when you go through phases. Well, I tend to go through phases anyway of what I want to collect and how I want my collection to look.
Yeah.
So I very much have quite a lot of sets that actually I no longer want in my collection or have a need for, or that looks really weird in my collection. So I've got quite a few I want to get rid of, and obviously with that comes minifigures and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, I probably will do another one. But that was, it was amazing. And to be fair, I sold a lot more than I thought I was. I thought I would literally go on there, put things for auction, and everyone would be like, nah, it's rubbish.
I mean, to be fair though, like I caught parts of it. I was there kind of like briefly scrolling through, and by all accounts, just the diversity and the eclectic nature of your entire collection. I think that's what drew people in, is like you get so many random obscure different things. People are just like, oh my god, I don't have that, let me get that. You know, I think that's just the nature of doing these things. It's like if you buy things from like say Facebook Marketplace as well, because of just the uniqueness of it, people are just 100% in on these things. Yeah.
And I was like, I think I found some like really old like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle minifigures that I've had from like way back when, and I think I did have some Ninjago, but don't tell anybody. So I sold those. And just like there was just loads of a bunch of other things. Like I was selling sets, minifigures on their own, battle packs. It was great. It was great fun. Nice.
By all accounts, roaring success, and that's what we like to hear. And obviously, if you want to go and check out the outcome of that, the Old Time Yashin is available on TikTok, Instagram, things like that. You can go and check out all that stuff. And if you do want to support any of your favourite content creators, please get in touch with us and we can show you ways that you can help us out as content creators so we can keep doing the things that we enjoy, that we know you guys really want to enjoy as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. And funny enough, actually, mate, our entire conversation, we've mentioned the word retired quite a lot.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, a lot of what I buy and also some of what you buy as well is always retired. So
yes. And that takes us very nicely onto our first topic for tonight's episode of the Fandom Bricks podcast, and that is retired Lego sets. Now, I myself don't claim to be a bastion of knowledge when it comes to Lego, specifically Star Wars Lego. I know quite a bit because it is my main niche, but I know things in between. But for this episode, I did a little bit of homework and I did a little bit of research. Obviously, you are completely in the dark about a lot of these facts and figures that I'm going to give you.
Yeah.
But that is because I want to get your reaction to these things. Now, my question to you, All Time Yashin, is if you had to guess what is the average shelf life of a Lego set from release to retirement? What is the average shelf life in years?
Average. I mean, some last just a couple of months, don't they? So the average can't be huge. Like, the average can't be like a couple of years. So maybe like, I'm going to go a year and 2 months. That's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
That's my average. That's what I reckon.
Okay. Well, you should have stuck with 2 years.
Really?
Yes, because just to give you a bit of an example, 2 years is the relative shelf life of a lot of Lego sets. So the Boba Fett Slave One that has been released with The Mandalorian, that is about 2 years old. That is due to be retired. Obviously, you look at the age of The Mandalorian and look at where we are now.
Wow, that's shocking.
You also look at some of the other sets that have been out. The Dark Trooper attack set from The Mandalorian, that is about 2 years old at time of recording.
It's crazy. I had no idea they were like relatively quite old, really.
Yeah. The recent edition of the X-Wing and TIE Fighter, you know, the small scale ones?
Yeah.
Those are 3 years old and they are being retired this year.
No way.
Yeah. So you can see why I picked this topic of conversation, because retired Lego sets are a very big thing for a lot of collectors, because you always have that massive fear of missing out, don't you, on Lego sets you don't normally get. But when I looked at the numbers, I was quite surprised, to be honest with you, because there are so many amazing Lego sets out there currently. For example, the 501st Battle Pack, not the specialist one, the ultimate one, the one that is by far one of the best battle packs ever made in this content creator's opinion, that is about 2 years old as well.
I can't get over that. That's crazy. I would have said probably about 8-9 months. I would have said off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, 2 years. 2 years is about average for a Lego set. You can stretch it out to 3 years depending on the nature of the build. So, for example, things like X-Wings and TIE Fighters, because they are so iconic and they are very much something that you instantly recognize with Star Wars. Yeah, that's right, because the recent one, the one that comes with Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, R2-D2 and General Dodana, was released in 2021.
Yeah.
And the one before that, which is the controversial one because it's got the big Dark Lighter and Luke with the new helmet molds, which everyone hated, that was released in 2018.
That's nuts.
So if you do the maths on that,
I actually can't get over that.
Yeah.
Why does that weirdly make me feel old?
Yes, I know. And it makes me feel old as well, because I also realised that the Boba Fett, sorry, not the Boba Fett, the Mandalorian and Grogu brickheads, those are way over the 2 year line. Those are about 2, nearly 3 years old, the brickheads, the Mandalorian and the Child, because they're from season 1 of the Mandalorian. And if you look at how long ago that was released on Disney Plus,
that's actually quite true.
Yeah, so
wow, I literally can't get over that. That's crazy.
Yeah. And before we go on to something else to do with retired sets, I'll give you a list of some of the sets at time of recording that are slated to be retired in the Star Wars line at the end of 2023, ready for 2024.
This is going to make me so sad.
Yeah, so the biggest one of them all, the UCS Mos Eisley Cantina, is slated for retirement, but that makes sense because that's been around since 2020.
Yeah. See, I'm not too fussed about the Cantina, I must say, but I know you're a big fan of the Cantina.
It's a fancy. I think for those of us who love kind of like our modular builds, and I think if you're doing like a Tatooine mock or you're doing like a Star Wars Lego City, but in that kind of Tatooine one, it makes sense. And it kind of seems fitting to have that because you're getting obviously the rumours that there's going to be that Jabba's Palace diorama that's coming out.
True, yeah.
You know, things like that. So I guess in a kind of way that offsets that one. The other thing as well is when you look at some of the sets that are going to be retired, the Republic fighter tank, the recent one with Mace Windu and his Legion.
The little one, yeah.
Yeah. That is about 2 years old. That's set to be retired as well.
See, I like that set. I really enjoyed that build.
Yeah. That is fantastic. And I think the minifigure selection is really good as well.
Yeah.
The Hoth ATST is set to be retired.
I love that set. That was my best build of last year that I did. Out of everything I built last year, that was my all-time favourite. Yeah,
that was one of the first Lego sets that I built when I started doing Lego Top.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've got a soft spot for that one as well.
Oh, that's really sweet. Oh, I
And
didn't know.
yeah, same for the Snow Trooper Battle Pack as well.
Oh, okay.
That's up because those two sets are kind of very interlinked as well.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So they are within that same sort of 2-year lifespan, which when you think about that is absolutely insane. You think about how good of a set that is, and it's been around for this long.
I know.
It's
It is mad.
crazy. But then you look at other sets that have gone, which is the Bad Batch Shuttle, that has now retired.
Yeah, and is extortionate secondhand market. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the Razor Crests, I think it's the first iteration of the Razor Crest as a buildable playset. I think that one is retired and that has gone up in value again.
Yeah.
So I know it's a bit of a strange one. I mean, I'm all for it. But here's the plot twist.
Okay.
Can you name me a set that is UCS and has been around for longer than 3 years and is not set to be retired at any point as far as this is being recorded right now?
What? So it isn't retired currently?
No, and it's still out, and it's one of the longest running sets that the UCS have got.
Wow, I'm pretty sure the only one that it could be is the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
Is it actually?
It is. And would you believe that the UCS Millennium Falcon has been around for about 7 years?
No, it hasn't.
Yeah. That UCS set came out around the time of The Force Awakens because it comes with 2 alternate builds. You get the original trilogy Empire Strikes Back build that comes with Han, Leia, the Minok bat thing.
Yeah.
But then the alternate second build is actually The Force Awakens with the square dish, because it's when they have the Rathtars and, the Kanja Club and things like that.
Wow, I had no idea.
So as you can see, I have done my homework.
You really have. I know nothing.
Yeah.
Is what I've learned from this.
My question to you is there a point when you've got to look at certain Lego sets and just say, enough is enough, just let it lie, let it rest,
Yeah, I think that there is. I just think it's obviously a business greed type thing, isn't it? Because they're still making a hell of a lot of money from selling that UCS Falcon. Like, people are still buying it. People are still reselling it. Do you know, like, it just doesn't make sense financially for Lego to retire that set anytime soon, because it's still a huge, like, grail of people, and it's still in the market. You can still buy it. Like, you can even pay 3, like, lots of payments now on, like, Klarna for it. Do you know what I mean? It makes it so much easier for people to buy those sets. So it literally makes no sense while it's still so popular for it to come into retirement. But I do think that there are sets where you're like, okay, I'm sick of seeing that set now, just get it gone, because no one wants it, no one's buying it, and it's just get it off the shelves.
Exactly. And it's kind of harks back to that conversation, because Boba Fett's Throne Room, which is one of the very few sets from the Book of Boba Fett that has been released. I think it's possibly the only one from the Book of Boba Fett, apart from the Microfighter that they've just released now. Yeah. That has only been out for about 18 months, and that is set to be retired as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I don't enjoy like scene set. Like, you've got like the Throne Room and stuff like that. Like, those, it's just not really a me thing to collect anymore. So I walk into a Lego shop and I'm like, is it seriously still here? Like, no one wanted the Boba Throne Room in the first place. Like, there was a lot of hype around it, but then just nobody bought it. Yeah. So to be fair though, I think investment wise, considering no one's bought it, or hardly anybody that I know personally has bought it, it'd be a good investment piece. But especially because of the minifigures and stuff as well. But yeah, I mean, there are some, like the Boba Fett's like Boba Fett's Starship, the new slave one. That again probably needs to retire soon, because it's just, again, a set that I don't think they sold a lot of it because of the rebranding of the name, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because no one thought that it was necessary. No one wanted the rebranding name. I know a lot of people that still call it a slave one, even though obviously technically it's Boba Starship. So yeah, again, and probably another set that just probably needs to go and circulate something new in.
I know, I get that. But here's the thing, though. With something like Boba Fett ship, you could easily keep the same build, change out a couple of pieces and a couple of minifigures, and have it as Jango Fett's.
You could. Yeah,
you could do that one
quite
because
easily as well.
Yeah, because we've not had a decent Django Fett's shit in a long time, have we? You know, so that's a good example of using the same sort of modular style build, the same techniques, and just change out the colours of that. And it's the same. And it's the same for you know. When you look at a lot of the older original trilogy sets, they're the ones that people have the most nostalgia for. Those are the ones that people have the most interest in. Those are the ones that if you're working for Disney and you're working for Star Wars and you're working for Lego, you know that people are going to buy those sets because a lot of us collectors, myself included, and you as well, we're a lot older now. We have adult money. We can afford to buy adult things. Like, look at Luke's Landspeeder, the UCS one. That has been out for years. That is still going, and we keep getting updated Landspeeders. We've had 3 Razor Crests in about 2 years.
Yeah, it's just we keep circulating the same sets, don't we? And we don't go back to like any of like the prequels. We just stick with like the original trilogy and then some of the new TV shows. Really, that's the majority of the sets that come out. But yeah, like I'm kind of tired of seeing Falcons. I'm kind of tired of seeing AT-ATs. I say that, and there's one massive one there. But like there's just no need for more versions. There's about 10, 12 AT-ATs. There's probably about the same Millennium Falcon. It's quite overdone. And if I'm being honest, the Slave one as well, like that's probably a set that's a bit overdone now. Maybe another Django Slave one would be really good because we only ever had one version of that. But I don't think we need another Slave one, if I'm being honest.
No, I think you've got it bang on with the, obviously, if you're going to do it and you're going to keep with the same sort of style of build, give us a variation of that. So like when we said about the UCS Falcon, we had in 2019 for the Rise of Skywalker, we had another Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
The year before that, we had the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon, which was white and blue. You know, they're Millennium Falcons, but they're different. The UCS one is the same thing. It's been around for 7 years and it makes money. But things like the Republic gunship, which in itself is controversial, I'm not going to lie, that's going to be retired. That's only a couple of years old. The UCS Star Destroyer retired last year.
Yeah, I'm very sad about that. I must say, I was gutted that it retired.
That's about £200. That one. The Tantive 4, you know, that was only around for about a year, 2 years. That retired. We haven't had one of them in about 10 years, and then that's quickly gone. Yeah. So it's almost like at this moment in time, based on that 2 to 3 year shelf life, they're kind of just sticking with sets that they know will make them a bit of money, leaving it maybe 12 months and then redoing them with new minifigures or updated paint jobs. So it's a bit, like you said, it's a bit boring though. Like, you know, give me something new.
Give us something a bit different. Give us something that you did in the early 2000s or the 90s. Do you know what I mean? Like that we haven't had for so long. But like you repeatedly bring out every year or every other year the same set. It just gets a bit tiresome. Obviously, everyone's going to get the UCS Falcon because it's just such an iconic set, and it's obviously a lot of people's grails. So it's definitely an investment piece. But just like a lot of the play scale sets, like there's so many play scale Millennium Falcons, and I can keep going on about the Millennium Falcon like I absolutely hate it, but I don't. But it's just, you know, I feel like that there's room for something else and something a bit more exciting, maybe with a bit of colour would be nice. But you know, we'll see. There's obviously these iconic ships, iconic transports and stuff that obviously are going to make Lego a lot of money. It's just, you know, quids in, isn't it? But yeah, it would be nice to have something a bit different.
No, I fully agree with you, and that's why I thought having somebody like you who has such a diverse collection, and for example, a couple of sets that I mentioned that are going to be retired and have been retired are in your collection that I can see behind you. So it's kind of fitting that we had retired sets as a topic, because we as a group, because, you know, myself, you, Lecoy, Just 15, Bite Size, Bish, we have our WhatsApp group and we chat in that all the time about the Lego sets we've seen, the purchases that we've seen. And retired sets are always the one that we as collectors are desperately trying to get hold of, because I can tell you off the top of my head how many retired sets that I have purchased in the last like 2 to 3 years because I missed out on them when they first came out. Because I only got back into Lego collecting in 2014.
Yeah.
So
to be fair, the majority of the sets I buy are either secondhand. I'd never really buy directly with Lego. It's very rare.
No.
I either buy them brand new off like Facebook Marketplace or something, or I buy a retired set. It's never really a set that's in progress. And most of the sets that I've had like gifts of like birthday or Christmas or something like that. So yeah, I very rarely buy an in circulation set.
No, I get that one. I think a lot of that is to do with cost as well and availability and things like that.
Yeah, it's very spenny being a Lego collector. It never gets cheap. Never.
No, for those of you who are possibly looking to expand your collection, she says don't do it. I will hark back to something that I said at one of our very first episodes of the Fandom Bricks podcast with bite-sized bricks. Budget is key.
It's so key. And don't try not to go over budget like me, because I set a budget and then I spend £100 more than what my budget was in the first place. So don't do that. That's how you lose money.
But having said that, going away from retired sets, we can talk about an interesting investment that a lot of us collectors do, and that is second-hand Lego sets.
Yeah, love a second-hand Lego set.
Yeah, so obviously this was a really nice segue from retired Lego sets because the two are intrinsically linked. You can't have one without the other. And you can get a lot of retired sets from third parties because they don't sell them directly on Lego. You can get them on places like eBay, Etsy, Vinted. You can get them on Facebook Marketplace as well.
Yeah, you can get them everywhere.
Yeah. Secondhand, and some charity shops as well do sell them, so you can always look in your local ones for bargains.
Yeah, I actually, talking about charity shops, I bought my Stormtrooper brickhead from a charity shop. It was brand new, sealed. I mean, the box was a little bit tatty, but other than that, it was still sealed. And I got it for about 15 quid. And it was going on the second-hand market at the time for about 50. So definitely look at charity shops.
Yeah, I mean, here's a good bit of insider information for you that nobody actually knows. So this isn't exclusive for the podcast. A few years ago, one of the local places near where I live has kind of like a little thrifty antique store.
Okay.
And outside it, they have a cabinet, and it's always locked. And inside this cabinet were minifigures, and I just happened to have a look at them, because this was before I got really seriously into doing TikTok and things like that. So I was still relatively, I wouldn't say that I was new to collecting, but I wasn't as in depth as I am now. And I picked up these minifigures, and I got, say, like 3 or 4 for like so many pounds, and I got back and I was looking at them, and there was just something a little bit off about them. And it turns out that I bought Leppin instead of Lego. They were sold as Lego, but I bought them as Leppin. And you could tell through the subtle differences in the paint. And you could tell by obviously just the applications and stuff like that. The lines were a lot like bolder. Some of the applications looked a bit funny. So
I'm heartbroken for you.
Yeah,
that's awful.
It was around the time like The Force Awakens came out, so it's like 2015, 2016. So it's a dangerous thing. But there are some really good pros to buying secondhand Lego sets, which is one thing I want to talk about. And we've both hit the nail on the head. You can get good values on a lot of Lego sets. Yeah. If you don't mind something that's not brand new in box and it's been used, but it's got all the pieces and it's in good condition and it's affordable, why not?
Go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I've started in the recent years. I've started getting a lot more stuff on eBay. So I was a little bit hesitant to buy things off eBay, but through eBay purchases, a lot of my Star Wars Rebels stuff I've been able to buy on there.
Yeah. So and to be fair, at least with eBay as well, you can see other people's feedback, which is what I like about it as well. Because you can see their reviews, how long roughly they'll take to deliver. And also you can request more photos from them as well. So like, you can do on Facebook Marketplace where you can just message people and ask for more bits that what you want, just to clarify what you're like buying. You can do the same with eBay, which I didn't know until I used it. Like I used eBay for the first time about 6 months ago, and I have not stopped using it since. Because I didn't realize you could do that.
It's one of those things, and it's not, I don't think it's something that they advertise exclusively, but it's a really good option. And I think eBay, like you said, it's good. You get the feedback, you get the stars and things like
Yeah.
that. And I think for a lot of us collectors, eBay is a really good source of secondhand Lego, because 95% of it is, if it's not brand new in box, it's pretty much mint condition. So, for example, the droid troop carrier that I bought, that I built on one of my lives, that wasn't brand new in box, but it had all the pieces. It was bubble wrapped, everything was there. My Imperial hover tank from Rogue One, that was brand new in box. That was from eBay.
Yeah.
My ATDP from Star Wars Rebels, I got that from eBay, and that was brand new in box and things like that. So I would definitely recommend, if you're a grown-up collector who is just starting collecting and you missed out on some sets, give eBay a go. I haven't used Facebook Marketplace exclusively for any second-hand purchases yet, so I can't for definite say how I feel with it, but you've used it quite a bit though, haven't you?
I've probably used it a bit too much, and since passing my driving test, I have used it way more than I did before. Because you find a lot of sellers, especially not just in like Facebook Marketplace, but also there's like Lego group, like Lego Star Wars groups in the UK, just normal Lego groups in the UK, that you can join on Facebook and be a part of, and people just like post the sets they're selling, how much for, all the pictures and stuff. And I forgot where I was going with that entirely. You know, when you get, I do that way too much. I think I've got early onset dementia or something. But yeah, no, to be fair, you'll find like a lot of sets on there for a hell of a lot cheaper than you probably would somewhere else. And to be fair, on Facebook, the one thing I like about Facebook, but again, there are so many bad points also to buying off Facebook, so you have to be so careful.
This is what we're going to go on to in a minute. We're going to do goods, and then we're going to do bad in a moment.
Okay, so I'll stick with the good. So
stick to the good for now.
Luckily, I personally have not had a bad experience with buying anything off of Facebook Marketplace or any of like the Lego groups that I'm a part of. I've been so lucky because I know so many people that have had bad dealings. But the one thing I do always make sure I ask for is additional photos of the box condition. If it's also an open set, I'll always ask for pictures of the condition of the minifigure and like the set if it's still currently built. But again, I'll always ask for the box condition, the manual condition, the minifig condition, and just ask for as many photos as possible. If they can't produce those photos, then I don't bother. But asking for those pictures, asking for, sometimes if you can do collection is the best thing to do, but never pay before you go to collect. Always pay when you're there on site, obviously, if both parties are happy with that. But my God, you can get some good deals, especially when people are selling someone else's collection and they have no idea how much they're worth. And sometimes you feel a little bit bad because you're slightly taking advantage of probably some old bird called Betty that's selling her grandson's collection.
Doesn't realise that.
No idea she's got £500 worth of Lego. She's selling for £40.
Doesn't realise that she's got the original like early 2000s Cloud City with the Carlton Banks Lando Calrissian.
Exactly, imagine. So sometimes you do feel a little guilty, and sometimes I'll be like, look, actually, let me pay you more money than what you want me to pay for it, because if I'm also taking I don't know, I just feel weird about taking too much advantage of the deal, if that makes sense. And they clearly have no idea what they're selling. And I'm like, okay, so that's like a £300 set that you're selling for £50. At least let me give you 100 or 120.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous. Like even that's half price. So I'm quids in either way. But you can get some really good ones. And also the good thing about Facebook Marketplace and the Lego groups as well is you don't have to be like an inbox collector or a brand new collector either. You can, like, some people are selling minifigs on their own, they're selling the sets without the box, which also you can get for a hell of a lot cheaper. If you don't want the box, you will get the set for probably pennies compared to what you would if the box was in good condition. So that's also, if you're not bothered about the boxes, if you're not bothered about minifigures either, sometimes you can just buy the set on its own. Then it's literally the perfect place to go to, I think, personally. As long as you do your due diligence right, you'll be well aware.
I think those are really good points to make. And I mean, Vinted is a really good one as well. I don't use Vinted. Kate uses Vinted quite a bit. She gets a lot of her brickheads from Vinted, and she's like a massive like Disney pin collector and stuff like that. She collects Disney pins. She does a lot. So she does a lot of research onto Disney pins using Vinted, and there have been times when we've been sat there and she's gone, "Oh, have you seen this Lego set on Vinted? It's say £20 or £30," and I've looked at it and I've just gone, "It's great that it's brand new in box. I've already got it."
That's crazy. So I never thought of buying anything from Vintage because I thought it was just for clothes.
No, apparently there's also, you can get like all sorts on there as well. Vinted is a really good one, and it's one that I would recommend if you want to try and maybe get something that you potentially could get in the box, or it's something that you don't mind waiting, because obviously with eBay you normally get it within 2 or 3 business days. With Vinted, if you don't mind waiting a little bit longer, give it a look. And I would say to anybody, I would encourage anybody who is a little bit unsure and maybe they're still kind of getting a little bit used to eBay or Facebook Marketplace, give Vinted a try. Vinted is an interesting one. I didn't realize, like you said, that they sold Lego on Vinted and you could get things like that.
I had no idea.
But no, it's like reconditioned second-hand stuff as well. And I was well impressed. Like, I think one of the sets that we saw was one of the original Micro Fighters, which is the Spider Walker with like a Geonosis battle droid we saw.
Oh yeah, I think I've got that Microfighter.
And the original like Clone Trooper turbo tank as well. That's got the Phase 2 Clone Trooper. There's things like that. So be amazed at some of the stuff you can see. And because she collects brickheads as well.
Yeah, she's a big brickhead collector, which I blame that fully on you.
It's a curse, really, suppose, because I'm not into brickheads as much as she is, but I like Lego, and she collects brickheads, and it's her thing. And she does a lot of her brickhead searches on Vinted as well. So, for example, the Hagrid, Ron, and Harry and Hermione brickheads she got from Vinted.
Oh, okay. I might have to look at Vintage. See, this Vinted is really dangerous. Sometimes I don't like talking to other collectors because you always find a new way of buying Lego and it just wipes your money.
Yeah.
You just need to stay away from other collectors for a little bit if you need to save money. Just don't talk to anybody that likes Lego.
But having said that, it's all well and good us sat here joking about it and, you know, saying about this, but there are a lot of flaws to buying secondhand Lego, and we've touched on those things. Again, you can buy things that you think are Lego, but they're actually, say, off-brand, they're knockoff, they're not legitimate Lego, and anything that is classified as Lego that isn't, don't pick it up. Because the quality may not be the same, the pieces may be different, things like that. If it's something that you can definitely tell isn't Lego and it's advertised as such, avoid it completely. That's my advice.
Yeah.
You also have to be aware of, as Beth said, make sure you ask all the right questions and things like that. Because again, you don't want to get something that you think is brand new in box to find that it's not there, or a prime example of me was picking up the picking up the Ghost from Brickfest, which I thought was new in box. Or if it wasn't new in box, it was at least in the box. And it turns out when I opened it, it was like half assembled.
See, I think that's pretty bad. I think, and to be fair, for the price you paid as well, that's pretty shocking.
Yeah. So these are the things that you have to watch out for, boys and girls.
And it's also con artists as well that you've really heavily, especially on Facebook Marketplace, especially ones that are selling like, so you'll see like loads of these listings that are like UCS sets for like £100 or 50 quid. And sometimes you'll go, okay, maybe someone's selling it and they have no idea what it is. But it is literally someone trying to con you. And a lot of it is like, I'll send it delivered, I'll get it delivered by Hermes or something like that. And then you pay it. And then you've lost all your money because then they block you and you've not got any Lego.
Yeah, one thing I will say in regards to that one is because we know somebody who has had issues with a retired set and they've been dragged around all the posts trying to get hold of one of their dream sets, and they've had a similar experience to that. I would say this: if you are going to pay for something like that, maybe don't directly use any of your bank information and your details. Use something like PayPal or
goods and services, I think it's called, isn't it? Don't use the family and friends because you can't get your money back. So the good thing about PayPal goods and services is, okay, yes, you're paying like a 4% increase on what you actually should be paying, but you are securing the fact that if someone does con you, that you get your full money back from PayPal. PayPal PayPal will refund you if you can prove, obviously, that you didn't get it. Whereas with friends and family, you can't claim that back. It is gone by that point.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth doing something like that and securing your money rather than don't ever do bank transfer. Just don't do it. It's worse than PayPal, family and friends.
Absolutely. And again, like we say, we aren't the be all and end all. You don't have to take our advice. We are just simple collectors who have a very expensive hobby, but we are trying to make people aware that buy secondhand Lego, because you get some amazing deals out there. But again, you also have to be aware of the other things as well, and missing pieces is always a tough one to kind of swallow when it comes to that. But you can get in touch with Lego directly if you are missing a piece and you explain the situation to them. 9 times out of 10 they will replace.
They will send you the piece.
Or you can try Bricklink if you need something specific. You can get pieces on there, you can get minifigures on there. If you have a minifigure that is missing a hairpiece or a helmet and you want to sell that set on, you can buy the replacement on Bricklink, completes your collection, adds to the resale value, things like that. But with also, it's the condition of the bricks that you buy as well. Like, if you buy a secondhand set that has been used and you know it's been used, wash it, clean it, sanitize it.
Yeah, you don't know what these grubby people do with their Lego sets. There's some nasty people in the world.
Yeah, so if you do buy it, wash it, clean it, sanitize it, make sure that you wash your hands as well or wear gloves. People who sift through bulk buys, I know people who wear disposable gloves when they go through bulk buys, just because obviously
you never know what's in them as well. They could be an accidental knife or something. I know it sounds really over dramatic and really sad, but you've got no idea, and half the people that do bulk buys have no idea what's in there anyway either. So and they're not going to go through 10-kilogram bucket of Lego just to see what's in there. They'll just sell it as one thing and just get it gone. So you do have to be so careful.
If you do want to wash the Lego, there are tutorials on YouTube and things like that, and TikTok on how people wash it. Don't use chemicals because you will just absolutely destroy it, and that would involve a lot of tears, and we don't want people to get upset.
No, and I've heard those salads, those salad things where you put your wet lettuce in and you spin it and it dries it completely. Those are great for either drying or even just washing your Lego. So you keep it in there and spin it around, wash it, and you can also then drain it and wash it in there and then put it onto some towels or whatever. Those are quite good. I might buy a salad strainer.
When I had my fish tank, before I moved my fish tank out, and I had my Lego on my fish tank, was when I used to clean the pebbles in my fish tank, I used to use a colander to kind of drain all the water through when it used to come out of the bottom. That's another really good way. If you use lukewarm water, put your bricks in, give it a shufty, and then you kind of clean it all through, that'll get the most of it. And then, as Beth said, use a salad strainer, do as much as you can with it. I mean, you're not going to get it all because it may be scratched, and what you think is dirt is actually scuff marks or scratches. But at least it's hygienic, shall we say.
Just be very careful that the holes in the colander or strainer are not bigger than the pieces you're putting in. Because if you're doing it over a sink, those little pieces are going to fall out right into the plug hole, and then you'll be annoyed about it.
Then you'll be onto Bricklink, and you'll have to then spend X amount of money for the pieces you've lost down the sink. And it's just a vicious cycle being a Lego creator. I honestly don't know why we bother. It's
a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's too much effort, too much money. It's all gone Pete Tong. It's it.
It's addictive. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, there could be worse hobbies out there. Don't get me wrong. You could get into some really dark, dingy territory on what kind of hobby you should take up. Lego is very tame, but
it's very PG.
It's a rabbit hole that is hard to come out from, and I think we are past the point of help when it comes to our Lego collections now.
There's no going back.
No, you just got to ride and ride and ride into the sunset, and then eventually that's it.
And then eventually you have a whole house and you have no more room to put anything else in.
See, this is the thing. We joke about this all the time as collectors about not having enough space. And just to hark back to one of my older TikTok videos, I did a video on the 5 worst things about being a Lego collector. And space is a big one. My solution is simple: win a bit of money, build an extension, and just go for it. Or buy a second house and just fill your Lego with it. Come on.
just buy a second house. Not a problem. Or just buy more shelves. That's a bit more of an economical.
To be fair,
to
yeah, no, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But yeah, as Josh said, if you win a load of money, just buy a whole house.
Yeah, if you want to support your local TikTokers and your content creators, please get in touch with us. We will gladly take any donations. As well, we are more than happy to take some money off you if it helps the tax man, and we can buy more Lego. So you know what? It's win-win for us all.
Oh, funny.
Right. So we have spoken a little bit about retired Lego.
Yeah.
We've spoken about the pros and cons of second-hand Lego, and we kind of went off on a bit of a tangent at the end, but that's what we do. So we're closing around the 51 minute mark.
Yeah.
So we're almost at an hour of recording. It's amazing how two people can sit on a phone and computer screen and just chat about just utter nonsense.
And repeatedly as well, it's not just a one-off occasion.
Yeah, exactly. So do you want to kind of finish on something fun?
Oh, go on then. You've twisted me arm.
Okay, so as you guys know, we have started to drift a little bit away from our weekly Lego drafts because Sam Bite-Sized Bricks hasn't been around as much. We've kind of had to adapt and test out niches and things like that. We've done top 5 Lego sets. We've done with the Lecoid and Sam when he was back the other week. We did our hypothetical 2024 wave, which was, I absolutely loved that one. I thought that was ace.
It was a great episode.
And I think, to be fair, it'll be interesting to see when January 2024 comes out, which one of us was correct.
We've got to put bets on these things.
Yeah, get a sweepstake. If you're from like Betfred or Paddy Power or any of the gambling sites and you want to put an accumulator on, please get in touch with either myself or the other time Yashin, and we'll hedge our bets for you. But I feel like because we did this last time you were here, let's just carry on with it. We're gonna do a minifigure draft, and I think just based on sheer popularity, you won the minifigure draft just because everybody watched you with Max Rebo. So I think you automatically won by default.
Yeah, he was like my safe bet was Max Rebo.
Yeah. So this week's episode of the Fandom Bricks podcast is a minifigure draft, and it is Imperial minifigures. So when we were planning on recording this the other week, but we couldn't due to reasons, there was some issues that meant Beth couldn't join us, but yeah. Hopefully everything is sorted itself out now, which is the main thing. So we are recording this now, and we are here. We're ready.
Doing it, smashing it.
I don't know about that. We'll see how well our minifigure look holds out.
I don't know. I might have a horrific time like I did last time.
Yeah. So we are doing Imperial minifigures. Now, we are allowing Sith characters who are associated with the Empire. That is one criteria we are allowing. But obviously, clone troopers are not, even though clone troopers are part of the Empire. So anything Bad Batch related doesn't count because they're not Imperial. So, Beth, as the guest for this episode, do you want to go first? Do you want to go second?
Actually, I'll let you go first this time because I went first last time. And I'm probably going to regret that decision. But I think it's only fair, right?
Yeah, it's mate. It's entirely up to you. I've got an extensive list here, and God. I can pick and choose what I want.
I'm so regretting this already.
Right, so in that case then, to kick things off, I am going to go for a character that is only appeared in one set. It's a retired set, funny enough.
Okay.
And it is a set that we as collectors absolutely love. It's one that I don't own, but I wish that I did. And that is the Imperial transport pilot from Darth Vader's castle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I rate that.
With the white and blue 501st kind of marking for his armour, yeah.
I rate it. Yep, very much starting to regret my decision. So, see, which one do I go first just to make sure I've got it in? Because my first pick was like my kind of, not comedy pick, but it's like I had to put it in there. Or I've got one that I just need to have on my list. So do I go for that one first or the other one? Because I don't know if you've gone for it.
Hey, it's a roll of the dice, mate.
Okay, I'll go for the one that I want to have in there.
Okay.
I'm going to go for the Chrome Stormtrooper Stormtrooper, the polybag one. You know, the really high end, really
Wow.
expensive Chrome Stormtrooper.
Wow.
I'm gonna go for that one, my first one.
I didn't even think of that.
No, I did it, and then I was cruising through, and I was like, "Is there any actually like proper limited, expensive Imperial figures?" And yeah, had to go for Chrome Stormtrooper.
Mate, fair play. That's a really good shout. That
I'm quite proud of myself, to be honest. I'm not a big Imperial fan, so I'm quite proud of myself.
No, that's actually I rate that. That's a really good shout. So. Ooh, where am I going to go with this one? For my second pick, I'm going to pick another exclusive minifigure that's only appeared in one set, which is an absolute travesty.
Okay.
This figure was from 2018.
Okay.
And that is the Nimbam Stormtrooper that appears in the Solo A Star Wars Story TIE Fighter.
Okay, nice.
It's got, the urban camouflage sort of grey and dark coloured armour. I think it's a fantastic minifigure, and it's just a shame that it appears in that one set, because I think that would have made a really cool battle pack.
Oh yeah, a battle pack. It would have been great for. I'm so glad I've got another set where this specific minifigure only came in this set, and it was 2018, and I was a bit worried then.
Okay.
It's like, okay. So the next one I'm going to go for, and whether this counts as a minifigure, I'm going to put it in, and you can decide whether it counts or not. But I'm going to go for. It came in the TIE Bomber, that's obviously just not recently been released. I'm going to go for the Gonk droid.
Okay, I did not see that coming.
I mean, it's Imperial.
Yeah,
everybody loves a Gonk droid, don't they?
I mean, I am sat with that set to my left-hand side.
I'm very jealous. I need that set.
And I'm looking at the box. And you know what? I'm going to allow it. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that one. Because it's so unexpected. Yeah, mate. Fair play. I'll give you that one.
I had to go for something really out there, and the Gonk droid had to be on my list.
And it's an Imperial Gonk droid as well, so it actually fits the criteria more so.
Yeah. It even has an Imperial logo on the side as well. So
yeah, it does.
Has to count.
Fun fact as well, that isn't a sticker, that's actually a printed piece.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, it was meant to be.
There you go, mate. Right, okay. So, my third pick for this minifigure draft is I'm going to pick a character that has appeared in multiple Star Wars mediums. It's appeared in the original movie. It's appeared in Star Wars Rebels. It's appeared in a younger version in the Clone Wars. And it has also recently appeared in Andor as well. You look really confused now about what I'm about to say to you as well, mate.
Yeah, I'm very worried.
And I'm going to pick Colonel Yularen.
Okay, he's not on my list, but that is a solid shout.
Yeah, I think for me it's the moustache, like just the pure white moustache. He's got the white Imperial uniform. He's got the rank plaque. I think it's a polybag as well, so it's a polybag, and it was out sort of 2014, and you know that Star Wars Rebels is like one of my favorite things in Star Wars. Yeah. So I think I've got to at least include one Star Wars Rebels reference within a draft of some script. And to be fair, it is a nice minifigure as well, and it's one that I'm always on the hunt for if I can ever find one.
Yeah, who doesn't love a mustache? You know, everyone loves a mustache. And if you don't, you're lying. See, I'm now not sure how to play this. Okay, right. So the next one I'm going to go for my third pick, I'm going to go for a Sand Trooper, specifically the one that came with Imperial Landing Craft in 2018, because it comes with like the orange cloth on the side. It comes with its backpack, and I bloody love a Sand Trooper as well. They look incredible as a minifigure. So yeah, that's going to be my third choice and my third pick.
Nice, and it's in the the new Stormtrooper mold as well, isn't it? So yeah, I think that looks better as a Sand Trooper than it does as like an actual Stormtrooper. So yeah, I definitely agree with that one. That's actually a very, very, very good shout.
Yeah, the Sand Troopers look amazing. I think they look great. They've not done one bad looking one, I don't think.
No, I've got two in the UCS Cantina as well. So it's like yeah. So
love it.
Yeah, no, I respect that. So just to give you guys a bit of feedback my first pick was the Imperial transport pilot from Darth Vader's castle, the Imperial transport pilot from Darth Vader's castle, the Minbarm stormtrooper from the 2018 TIE Fighter, and the polybag Colonel Yularen from Star Wars Rebels.
Okay, so my first choice was the Chrome oh god, sorry, apologies, background noise. Was the Chrome Stormtrooper that came in the polybag in 2029. Oh no, 2009. I'm gonna go for the Gonk Droid was my second choice, that come with the new TIE Bomber, and the Sand Trooper specifically from the 2018 Imperial Landing Cruiser.
Nice, solid, good options there, mate. And I think it's relatively even. I think the Gonk Droid just for Bants might actually score you some major points right now.
If that wins it for me, I'll be ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm never going to live it down.
You'll be fuming.
Never live it down losing to a Gonk Droid, like ever.
So that'd be hilarious.
So for my fourth pick, I am going to pick one of my favourite minifigures of the last couple of years, and it also comes in one of my favourite sets of the last couple of years. It was also the second set that I ever reviewed on YouTube, and it was also one of my early TikTok videos, and that is the Artillery Stormtrooper from the Imperial Marauder from Mandalorian.
I'm so mad at you right now.
It's on your list, isn't it?
I'm so mad. God damn. I so should have picked that earlier. Oh, that's just ruined it. I've not got 5 picks now.
I think to be fair though, you can easily pick another one.
Yeah, I'll just go for another Stormtrooper. There's plenty of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, bugger.
And you've got to admit though, that is a nice minifigure as well.
It's a great minifigure. It's such a good minifigure. I should have known. I should have known.
Well, it was also when I started doing my draft, he was the first one on my list.
Okay. He was the second on my list after the Gonk Droid.
Oh, okay, fair.
See, I should have taken that as a sign to go early. God damn. Right, well, the only one that's left on my list, so it has to be number 4, is so I've actually got this set and I've got this minifigure. It's the AT-AT driver with the angry face from the 2014 AT-AT, like the playable.
Is that the motorized one?
Square one. No, it's this one actually here, the little one that's under the big AT-AT here. It's one of the play scale ones, and the AT-AT driver with the angry face gets me every time. So I love an angry face minifigure. They just look amazing. I think it kind of internalizes the fact that sometimes I just want to and they do it for me. It's great.
It's also like one of the longest serving minifigure heads in Star Wars, in the angry clone, because it's like an angry face, but every bad guy minifigure has an angry face.
Yeah. Oh god, now I'm gonna have to think of a 5th one.
Yeah, I mean, I'll pick my 5th one and I'll drag it out a bit to give you a little bit of time. Yeah, give you some thinking time.
Because I didn't prepare.
No, somebody did not understand the assignment.
I did not.
Well, I mean, now that I know this, I could easily go so many different directions. But because I'm nice, I'm gonna pick a minifigure in my collection that I absolutely just love. I think it's a fantastic minifigure. I think it's really underrated, and that is the Imperial Shadow Guard from I think it's from 2014, and it's the Shadow Troopers Battle Pack, because you get 2 Shadow Guards, you get 2 Shadow Stormtroopers, and you get a speeder with them, and it's got like all black Royal Guard armor. It's got like red like a visor, it's got lightsaber staffs, and it's linked to Star Wars The Force Awakens as well. Not The Force Awakens, sorry, Star Wars The Force Unleashed as well. And it's when I got back into Lego collecting in 2014, it was one of the first few small sets that I ever bought, and I just think they're such an underrated minifigure, and I don't think we'll ever get something like that again.
No, probably not, because Lego, I say we as if I'm a Lego actual
we ourselves don't get a say. We buy
we don't get a say, but they should. But they won't make anything that anybody likes.
No.
Okay, because I haven't prepared, I don't know what set it comes in, but I'm going to go for one of the red Imperial Guard.
Oh, okay.
That's going to be my 5th choice. Again, I don't know what sets they come in. I know there's a couple.
Yeah, they've been one of the exclusive ones. I think you've got one in one of the Imperial. I think the earliest one is like the Imperial inspection from like the early 2000s. You get one of the landing shuttles. I think there's a couple of Death Star
I'm
duels.
pretty sure it comes in one of the Imperial shuttles. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what version it is, but
there's about 2 or 3 variants, because you've got ones that have got like the old black spears.
Yeah.
Then there's the ones that have like the lightsaber staffs. I think the most recent version is from, I think it's 2020, and it's the Death Star. It's the Death Star duel set with Palpatine, Luke, Vader, and a couple of them. And then they also, fun fact, because I'm really nerdy and this kind of stuff interests me, there's also a Death Star Troopers battle pack from 2014 that you get 2 of them in as well. So.
Huh. Okay, fair. So yeah, that's going to be my 5th pick. It wasn't on my list. It was something I pulled out of
thin air.
Yeah. So yeah.
Do you want to hear a couple of the other options that I had written down? That I could easily pick?
You actually prepared for this.
I had a Shadow Trooper as well, but not the one that comes with the Shadow Guard. I went for the 20th anniversary one, the black one that comes with the dropship.
Yeah.
I also went for Agent Callus as well.
Okay, that'd have been an interesting pick. Yeah.
I went for the Scarif Stormtrooper as well. The one that's the polybag that comes with like the little soft goods skirt.
I can't repick, can I? I've committed now. But what I should have gone for is one of the Scout Troopers for like the Endor set.
Yeah.
Should have gone for a Scout Trooper. Why didn't I do that?
Yeah, exactly. It's too late now. You've committed.
Too late. Never mind.
I also had the 5th brother as well.
Okay. Yeah, you probably would have won with some of those picks, you know.
And of course, he's on my list, but he was a reserve because I was expecting you to have picked him. Thrawn as well.
Okay. Who was it?
Thrawn.
Oh, yeah. See, I could have. But I also, because I know he's one of your all-time favourite characters, I thought I would be nice. But I could have just done it to be a bit of a not a good friend, because
no, I
rub it in your face.
I appreciate that, but because I took the artillery stormtrooper off you, I would have allowed it. So it's like, it is what it is.
See, I'm impressed. I feel like we've got some good figures there, because I feel like that was actually quite difficult to find proper good Imperial figures.
Yeah, and when you look at both our lists, like the Chrome Stormtrooper is a really good shout.
Yeah, see, I completely, until like the last minute, didn't even think of polybags. I just thought of like the Imperial figures you could get with sets. So it was a really last minute thought of mine.
No, I rate that, and I think that is like, and that is a really good example of retired sets and secondhand sets. People have faked that, and they've just painted it silver, and
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
There are ways to tell what is an authentic one of those, so it's kind of fitting that you've picked a minifigure like that when we've had discussions of retired sets and secondhand Lego and stuff like that. But it's up to the people. Who do you think won this minifigure draft? Let us know. I think I should win because
to be fair, I reckon you've taken it, if I'm being brutally honest.
But because you have picked a Gonk droid, an Imperial Gonk droid, and everybody loves Gonk droids, this might be Max Rebo Part 2.
I hope so, because if I do, it'll be I've beaten you 2 times in a row. Mm-hmm. So,
and you'll never be allowed on the podcast ever again.
Yeah, never ask back ever again.
Lifetime ban this. Lifetime ban.
Yeah. It would surprise me. To be fair, your probably ratings are terrible.
Do you know what's going to happen now? Because we've done this, and obviously we're going to promote this, and we're going to talk about you being on the podcast again. Watch this get like twice as many like views as the other one, just to see you just try not to swear at the fact.
I to be fair, I nearly fell twice really badly that I can remember. But I know there's quite a few occasions where I've gone to say something and then changed it into a different word. It's so difficult to be easy.
Yeah, mate, of course. And it's life, isn't it? This is what I mean. It's frustrating, isn't it, when you miss out? It's
difficult. It is difficult because obviously my TikTok lives are not quite the same. There's a lot of profanity. But I've been very well behaved, I think, personally. And there's been some times where I thought I was actually going to swear on here, but I didn't. So that was good, right?
There we go.
Progressing as a person.
Yeah, and this is your second appearance, so you're racking up them appearances like just 15 bricks.
Exactly. I don't think I'll ever quite get to his numbers because he's so great. But, you know, I'm quite happy to be in the same league as him.
There you go then. Absolutely. We are, however, coming to the end of this edition of the Fandom Bricks podcast. And I'm not going to lie, we've gone over our time. I planned for an hour. It's now an hour and 12 minutes, but that's always the case. Yeah. However, it has been really good fun and I've actually really enjoyed it. And we've all learned something interesting tonight.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm going to be looking at Vinted tonight because of you.
Thank you. And you're also going to be looking at the age and shelf life of certain Lego sets.
I don't know, maybe, because I'd be quite interested to see how, like, especially some of like the Gungan sub, for example. Love that set, but I actually have no idea how long it was actually on the shelves for. Or no, I've got so many retired sets, so it'd be so interesting to actually see and work out actually the average shelf life of my entire collection. That would be quite cool to find out.
That would be a good video.
That would be a good video. Everything is content.
There we go. Everything is content. So thank you very much for joining us, everyone, for tonight's episode of the Fandom Bricks podcast. Unfortunately, Bite Size Bricks could not be here with us this evening, so you've had to settle for me and the all-time Yashin, but, you know,
I know, it's terrible. They all come for Sam.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you know, Beth, it's been an amazing time having you on. It's always a pleasure talking Lego with you.
No, thank you for having me back. I'm very surprised you are. So thank you.
You know what? I'm kind of winging this. I need as much help as I can get. So if I'm going down, I'm taking somebody with.
Hell yeah, well, in it for the long haul.
Absolutely. But, my dear, can you tell the people where they can find you, on what socials they can find you on?
Yeah, so I keep it very simple. I'm only on TikTok and Instagram. So on TikTok, it's All Time Yashin. On Instagram, it's All Time Yashin with the little underscore. So yeah.
Why is there another All Time Yashin that's just got the full name?
Well, no. So I had
the name not available?
As my personal Instagram, I had it as All Time Yashin. And for some reason, even though I changed it, I still couldn't have All Time Yashin, even though I got rid of it myself. So I know it's available, but it just wouldn't let me have it. So I just stuck an underscore in there, and I was like, "I'll be all right."
Never mind, Never mind.
Where can we find you, Galaxy?
Well, funny you should mention that, actually. You guys know me. You listen and watch this podcast on the reg. We know you do. The views and the streams.
Can't stay away.
You know, the views and the streams back that up. But my main platform is TikTok. You can find me there at the Galaxy of Bricks. You can also find me on Instagram at the Galaxy of Bricks as well, all lowercase. I do have a YouTube channel I don't use, but that may be being revived come the next couple of weeks. We may be doing some stuff on there. That is
some
also
exclusivity there.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the Galaxy of Bricks as well. You can find me on there. If you don't go and follow my amazing guest for the evening, please go and follow her. She's ace. If you love your quirky, fun vids all about Lego, if you like to watch a grown woman under 5'5" talk about Lego, definitely would recommend.
A legitimate dwarf.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that. If you want to know who they based Rivendell on, go and see Beth.
To be fair, I'm actually not short enough to be a technical dwarf. I did look it up. I'm a couple of inches off, so we're all good.
That's okay. So that's fine then. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And you know what? It's fun, isn't it? You know, this is how important it is. Just for those of you listening, we are friends. This is all been part of how we are as friends. There's no malice involved with either of this.
I've actually never heard of him.
No, it's fine. You know, I mean, apparently, you know, I got asked in a video, do I do TikTok? And it was a shameless plug. So there you go. But this has been the Fandom Bricks podcast. I have been your host, the Galaxy of Bricks. I have been joined by my amazing guest, the all-time Yashin, and we will see each and every one of you very, very soon. Bye, guys. See you soon.
Bye.
The Fandom Bricks podcast.